Let's start our study of the Bible's teaching about money in the Old Testament. Proverbs talks a lot about money and investments. Here is Proverbs 6 through 11. Go to the ant, O sluggard, observe her ways and be wise, which having no chief, officer, or ruler, prepares her food in the summer and gathers her provision in the harvest. How long will you lie down, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, your poverty will come in like a vagabond and your need like an armed man. So this focuses mostly on diligence and working as contrasted with laziness, but it also seems to encourage storing up or saving during times of plenty for the future possible times of need. Another similar passage is Proverbs 27:23 through 27. Know well the condition of your flocks and pay attention to your herds, for riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to all generations. When the grass disappears, the new growth is seen, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered in. The lambs will be for your clothing, and the goats will bring the price of a field, and there will be goats' milk enough for your food, for the food of your household, and sustenance for your maidens. Basically, this was telling a godly farmer at that time to pay attention to his flocks and think ahead to the future, so that he would have enough food for his family. In our day, this might apply to our own investments. Proverbs 15:6. Great wealth is in the house of the righteous, but trouble is in the income of the wicked. We know from other scriptures that the righteous do not always prosper or have wealth. Indeed, many times godly people are poor, but this verse shows that wealth and righteousness can go together. Wealth by itself does not necessarily imply wickedness. The next passage is Proverbs 31. I'm not going to read it aloud, but you can read it here. Here in this description of the excellent wife, this woman works hard, and her household is clothed in expensive, good quality clothes. But at the same time, she works for the benefit of other people rather than storming up primarily for herself. She works for the benefit of her family, see verse 15, 21, and 27, and for the poor and needy around her, verse 20. Next, here is 1 Timothy 5, verses 3 and 4 and 8. Honor widows who are widows indeed, but if any widow has children or grandchildren, they must first learn to practice piety in regard to their own family, and to make some return to their parents, for this is acceptable in the sight of God. But if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. This passage teaches the importance of providing for family, and for parents in particular. In our culture, this would seem to include investing some money to pay for expensive medical care and end-of-life nursing care, especially since Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, etc., are projected to run out of money within a few years as the country's debt load keeps growing unsustainably. Similarly, 2 Corinthians 12:14 says, children are not responsible to save up for their parents, but parents for their children. Again, this shows the legitimacy of investing money for the benefit of family members. Next, 1 Corinthians 16:1 through 2. Now concerning the collection for the saints, as I directed the church of Galatia, so do you also. On the first day of the week, each one of you is to put aside and save as he may prosper, so that no collections be made when I come. Again, this shows the importance of saving for others, in this case, helping impoverished Christians. So, in summary of this section, the Bible does teach the appropriateness of saving or investing for the benefit of other people, such as one's family members. Our next video will look at the problem of putting our trust in money, and our next video will look at what the Bible says about giving.